Okay, Honorable Minister, if I could take you up on the issue of enabling environment, is one that a lot of Nigerians, and I know I'm speaking for quite a few, who are very excited about it because they know how difficult it can be. And that's part of the reason why global competitiveness rating of Nigeria has been consistently low for a while. In terms of enabling environments, what specifics and timeline do we have from governments that makes it such that if we're going to struggle for the next 3 months, we know that in 3 months' time, if you go to CAC, you'll be able to register your company. In 6 months' time, you'll be able to achieve so. So that with that, we can use the yardstick and say the government will be able to do this. So in 6 months, we have specifics that we can hold on to.
It's a very good point, and let me underscore that point in a slightly different way. What you're saying in effect is that you can talk about this all you like, until you do it, it's not going to happen. And frankly, we've been talking about enabling environment, ease of doing business. It turns out it's very operational. I remember talking to Sheyi Bickerstead, who is the gentleman I said is going to. And one of the points he made to me, which is one of the reasons I know he's the right sort of person to get involved, is that this has to be very operational. In other words, you have to get into the nuts and bolts of actually making it easy for people to do business. You use CAC as an example. CAC, I know, has tried to basically use technology to speed up business registration. And just to use your example, so they went to 2 cities with the World Bank, who does the ease of doing business rankings. They went to Lagos. They said they had done the full, and they said, we don't believe you. So the next time, when he went to Kano, he actually demonstrated where he was at. We're not yet where we want to be, but we're not where we used to be. I think you can now register businesses in a matter of, maybe a couple of days if you use the system they've put in place. But it's going to get better. The point is that we've identified 6 areas that we intend to start with. Business registration is one. We're also going to work on understanding what it takes to get credit. We also want to work on, some of the other areas where people need to get help, whether it's in terms of land registrations, or in terms of some of the approvals you need, from government. Whether it's things like SON, NAFDAC, and so on. All these things are going to happen. The point I want to make about them is that, the reason why I told you that we're going about it institutionally and setting up this process, even though it's taking some time, my belief is that, you will start seeing results, certainly from the end of the year, and we'll follow that pattern. Now, the last thing to say is that, we also need to communicate, as we've been told. So one of the things we're hoping to do as we launch the actual implementation, we're also getting help from some consultants, some of whom are here. One of the things we intend to do is to communicate better. So I'll just say stay tuned, but there's no question that everything we have said, is going to happen.
I want to bring in Senator Udoma into the conversation. I don't want to leave you out. This administration, this is for the Vice President as well, this administration has been very, very focused on tackling corruption. All of the money over the past year that you have seized from corrupt individuals, where is it going?
For me?
For you, for the Vice President and Senator Udoma as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me say that if you look in the 2016 budget, we have a line in that budget, 350 billion is what we expected to recover. So it's actually a line in our budget, so we really have provided for it.
350 billion naira.
Yes, is what we expect. That's what's in the budget. Now, obviously, we have not been able to recover all that in terms of physical cash. In many cases, for example, we have about almost 400 million outstanding with the US. We have close to $300 million, I'm talking of dollars, outstanding with the Swiss government. A lot of what we have recovered, we already made public. This was made public in the president's address. We stated the actual sums, including real estate, etc. So what it is that we're trying to do is, as we go along, we obviously intend to disburse that, to use that money in the budget.
Where in the budget? Where are you investing it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying that it's a line. You have, if you look at all of your income, right? This is one. 350 billion is expected. So if you get 25 billion, it funds your budget. If you get 30 billion, 40 billion, it funds the budget. That's how we have ensured that we did this. So there's a process, you know. It actually, once the money comes in, we will use it, we'll account for it, and use it to fund the budget because we have a budget line for it. Okay. We have not, for example, some people have suggested that, okay, why don't you just go and build a road and say this is the anti-corruption road? Yeah, some people have made that suggestion, and we're saying yes, that may be dramatic, it may convey the point, but it's also important to understand that we're trying to fund the whole budget. This is money that has been stolen over, you know, from different places and all of that. And we think that the most orderly way to do this is to provide for it in the budget as an income stream and to put it back in the budget and fund the budget. That's what has happened.
Can I just get Senator Odoma to answer, because transparency is so important. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think you touched on something that we are actually discussing at the moment because we're preparing the 2017 budget. And it's easy to do what you are suggesting for funds that we are sure have already been received. For instance, I think there is some recovery that we're expecting from Switzerland. And we are looking at tying that to some specific infrastructure project. So we are looking at that. In fact, that is something that we just recently discussed. So yes, it's a good suggestion that you have made, and we're looking at it. But let me speak a little generally about the plans and some of the communication issues which have been raised. I think, first of all the things that we are doing, every single thing that we're doing is actually contained in a document which was produced within a few months of our getting into office. It's called the Strategic Implementation Plan for the 2016 budget. And let me just refer to a particular item which shows you that even what we're doing today is part of the plan. Now it says here, number 15, implement the National Industrial Revolution Plan, which is what the Minister of Investment was talking about, and launch Made in Nigeria campaign. So all these things that we're doing were all anticipated in this document. But I do take the point that I can now appreciate why CNN just goes on and on. A single item, they will repeat it and repeat it. And sometimes I used to wonder, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
We're trying to hold you to account and give you an opportunity to answer to the people.
I now realize that CNN has a good technique and that we should borrow it. That it is not enough simply to announce your policy. You have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. What we have to do, basically, is to keep on getting it down, drilling it down, repeating it, going onto social media, going everywhere, because the plans are there. And in terms of the more comprehensive plan, I will refer to again in this document which we have distributed, and this was issued in April 2016. It was issued before the recession. So our plans were not based on the recession. Our plans were based on the fact that over the years we had serious structural deficiencies. Now, I have been in the private sector as well, and I've been saying those things from out there. And I was brought in less than a year ago now, together with OK and a number of us, to help implement those things that we have been talking about. And this is our intention. And we intend to make sure that they're implemented. So we came out with this document, but this document also says, and this is from the President's forward, it says it is important to stress that this document is that a more comprehensive medium-term plan is being developed under the coordination of the Ministry of Budget and National Planning through a process that involves consultation. The development of this plan will be completed later on in the year. We are actually in the middle of that plan. This was to start off with, because you have to start off with something. We started off with this. This was to support the 2016 budget. We already have a team working on the more comprehensive plan, which should be released before the end of the year. But let me also say that that more comprehensive plan is putting together the various plans which we already have. We have a plan for agriculture.